And we get things into focus by moving our stage up and down. So you could do this a couple ways. You could do this, okay? Now the first thing we want to do after we have centered our object in the light, stage all the way down, scanning objective. I'm going to start looking, and like we said, we want to make sure we adjust our oculars for the width of our eyes, okay, just like I have. Now, we're going to get into focus by using the coarse objective and move our stage, which moves our object, our slide, slowly up and down. And I can start there and slowly roll up and try to find it. But I know, because I've been looking at these things for a long time, that I'm going to start up towards the top. And one thing I want to make a point of, if we are on our scanning objective, the smallest lens, we roll this all the way up, we are never, ever going to hit our lens, hit our slide to our lens, okay? Move it all the way up, it's never going to hit it. Now, that's not the same as this, okay? We can't move it all the way up, okay? We can't move it all the way up, okay? So, we have to start getting any object, no matter how big or how small, in focus with our scanning objective, because it does take a little while to get into focus, and we don't have to have it under great magnification. The larger the magnification, like on this one, the harder it is going to get it into focus. It wouldn't be impossible, but it would take me a long time to start with our highest objective and try to get that into focus. That's just silly, okay? So we're going to start with our scanning, and we're going to start with it all the way up, because I know by experience it's just going to roll down a very small ways, and then I'm going to get it into focus. So it's going to be into focus closer to higher up, then closer to all the way down, okay? And so I look, and here's another hint. So one thing is trying to figure out if I'm looking at the right thing. You might, because it can be dirt, there can be dust, there can be microfibers all over this thing, and there can be stuff all over your slide, and it's not what you're trying to look for. I already know, because I've got this stained. I already know the color of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for blue, okay? So I know whatever object that I'm looking for is going to be blue, so I'm going to try to get something blue into focus. Hope that made sense. All right, so I'll go all the way up, and I'm going to go roll it down very slowly. Ooh, I'm seeing some blue, I'm seeing some blue, I'm seeing some blue, I'm seeing some blue. Boom, there it is in focus. Now I've got it exactly in the middle, because I've moved it just a little bit. I was not far from being right in the center. And I've got my blue stuff, if you will, totally into focus. And you see how high that was. Nowhere near the bottom, almost at the top. Let's see how many turns. It's like a quarter to a third of the turn, and boom, I'm in focus. And that's pretty much a general rule. Doesn't take long to get that into focus. All right, so I've got that into focus, but it's still a little bit small. I can't quite make out what it is, if it was bacteria. So now I've got it, and I can see if I've got it really into focus, which I do. Didn't take much more on this fine adjustment. I've got it into focus. Now I'm ready to go higher magnification, and I'm gonna move to the yellow. So we go from red to yellow to blue. We go in that order. This is the next magnification. I can move it. And if this is in focus, when I move this lens is never gonna hit our slide, ever. Okay, if it wasn't in focus, it might hit the slide. But if I got that in focus, I move that, and it is not gonna hit the slide. So now I'm looking, I can see the blue, but it's still a little bit blurry. Now I'm gonna use my fine tune, either hand, and now it's in perfect focus. If I see a couple of boogers that are more interesting than another, I can move it around and find the exact area I want to be. Okay, boom, I've got that in perfect focus. Now, say it's really small, I want to go with higher magnification because I want to get a better look at it, or I'm not 100% sure what it is because it is teeny tiny. I'm gonna move up to my high dry, and again, that's as high as I'm gonna go. The blue, again, if that's in focus, You're just like, oh my gosh, it's gonna hit it, it's gonna hit it. No, it's not gonna hit it. It is dang close, but it's not gonna hit it because it's in focus. Now look, and this can be the hardest to get into focus because it's the highest magnification. You got the least amount of error to mess with to get it into focus. I can see the blue, but it's still a little fuzzy. So now just a teeny tiny turn and boom, it is in perfect focus. Boom, there it is. Okay, so now I can look around, I can count cells, I can do whatever, find more examples of the cell or whatever I'm looking at, and there it is all over the place in really nice focus. And a lot of times when you move it, it might get out of focus a little bit, so you continue to focus. And also, I'm gonna do the light here. Ooh, that's even better. So I close my aperture just a little bit. So I'll decrease the amount of light. Typically, the higher focus you are, the less light that you need. I'm gonna mess with this a little bit. Okay, it was pretty good where it was. But I can adjust this light to see it the best. The brightness control, the roller brightness control. I can adjust my lever. You can see how that's wide open, that's way too bright. Closing it right in there is the best for me to see my little object that I'm looking for. Also, something else, the darker your room is, the better you can see. If you're able to turn the lights out, if you're really trying to find something that's teeny tiny, you can see better with the lights out because the glare from light comes in and will impair your vision a little bit. So you can see even better the darker the room is.